Now to our Discover Black Heritage series. Pretty much all cultures of the world, hair has been a symbol of identity.
But tonight, we get a chance to relive part of the history which not everyone knows. Our Telemundo Chicago's Alfonso Gutierrez joining us now with the story. Alfonso?
That is right, Allison and Stefan. We're talking about Afro-Colombians, and actually Colombia has one of the largest Afro-descendant populations in all Latin America. Close to 5 million, or 10% of the population, are Afro-Colombians. In this country, some say these African braids helped many slaves to get their freedom.
Sí, yo soy afrocolombiana.
Cristina was born and raised in Chicago.
No quiero tener pena.
She feels very proud of her dark and curly hair, but that was not always the case.
Some of the bad, physical memories that I have is my mom dry brushing my hair on Friday nights, and I would cry. I'd try to have a tantrum.
Now, these braids bring back so many memories of her mother. Last year, she passed away.
My mother took me to Colombia every year for the holidays, and I was probably around 8 or 9, and that was actually the first time I got my hair braided in Colombia, and I just felt something magical happened.
Nowadays, these hairstyles symbolize identity and culture, but in Colombia, they help weave escape routes.
They focused on routes through which they could escape. On the heads of others, they recreated those routes, those paths.
Emilia Neida Valencia is the founder of the Association of Afro-Colombian Women in Cali, Colombia. Her main focus is to highlight what history books do not.
I started to investigate and read, and I went to San Basilio de Palenque, the first free town in America. And there inquiring, I found that yes, they had established themselves as a town, thanks to the braids that mimicked the paths they had to take.
In Colombia, the abolition of slavery was in 1851. However, San Basilio de Palenque was founded by enslaved people a century before, thanks in part to these maps of freedom.
If it was a braid in the shape of a worm, those indicated a water source. If it was a coiled braid, that was a mountain. If it was close to the scalp, those indicated that there were troops.
I had no idea about that.
But now that Cristina is a mother, her mission is to make sure his baby Tommy never forgets his roots.
I want to empower him that his culture is in his blood and in his hair, and to express himself as freely as he wants.
And another big effort to honor Afro-Colombians is this festival or hair competition, which is called Tejiendo Esperanzas, which you can translate as Weaving Hopes. Since they started 20 years ago, their main mission is to decolonize the concept of Black aesthetics and celebrate the history. Alice and Stefan, now back to you.
Weaving hope. We learned so much. Thanks
Great,
so
they're
much.
documenting that history and then telling other people about it.